Hello. Every day I wake up, I wait for you and your corrupt police to tell the truth. And I wake up to nobody knows anything. Everybody keeps pretending they don't know nothing. I've been to Austin, Texas, November 14th, 2024. This is real. I was really there, reporting the crimes your police have committed against
This
me.
is the Texas
Wearing that shirt.
legislators.
You can see the video. You see this guy sneak up on
There's
me.
more
Where's he at?
Texas
He told me he was
legislators.
going to do this, and just watch. Within 14, 15
When I was
seconds,
here in
he is right on my tail.
20,
Just out of nowhere, the guy's there.
2015,
He told me he was going to be there, and he
2018,
was going to tackle
2019,
me
they
and
call it the
arrest
year
me.
of the
He
cranes.
told me
They
this
craned
years
all over the
ago.
place.
I've done no crime.
Just keep building stuff.
But there he is. That's him.
Crazy.
If Brett Finnerty had done a crime, the police would have arrested Brett Finnerty, prosecuted Brett Finnerty, and put him in a jail cell. They would not have used some kind of illegal punishment. They would not have used hypnotism to put stories in my head and where I have to try to survive to find the truth about the cops faking my daughter's death and multiple people's death. What you're doing is willfully depriving me of my life, liberty, and property without the due process of the law. This is illegal punishment. Nobody will tell the truth. How am I supposed to survive if every face I see is a liar? Because I know everybody in this city of Lone Grove, Oklahoma is a liar. I went here during their Christmas party. They were not happy. They looked very upset to see me. This was during a Christmas party.
Capitol.
They looked very upset. I went here. The churches looked very upset. The police looked very upset. The people in this building, there's a lady in there. I think she's related to Jim Conway
July 4th,
from Marietta, Oklahoma.
It's probably the observation deck of area. Someone walk out and look around. That's I'll enforce the law.
Everybody seems to know what's going on, but nobody tell the truth. Look at all these places
I'm here at the state capitol.
To try to get your police to tell the truth. In this city, the citizens showed the police the citizens knew the truth.
Hey, I'm at the state capitol, Missouri.
And the police officers standing outside walk by me looking kind of upset. This city, everybody proving the truth. That's what I started seeing. I'm here in New Mexico. Back in the Air Force, who were trying to set me up when I was in the Air Force. In fact, I saw them inside here wearing a
Hey, I just came from the state capitol again.
When I was in the Air
reporting the crimes again.
And there he was inside this place, trying to set me up again.
Police and everybody else
inside the state capitol. I went to this one, and there was a guy outside. He was an Asian guy walking around.
Hey,
I'd seen him on. It was either Kirkland Air Force Base, but I think it was Alamogordo. And everybody said, you need to stay away from that guy. He's just they called him a buffoon or something. He's just a big goof or something like that. He thinks everything's a joke. He was pretending to be a homeless man in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. I went up, he asked me for some change. I gave him some change. I didn't realize who he was until I started walking back and I saw him start following me, and I got away from him really quick. Then I realized I had seen him when I was in the Air Force. He was actually on the Air Force Base, trying to plant stories in my head, and there he was in Phoenix, Arizona. Then I go to Washington, D.C., and what I noticed was there was at least three cops in Washington, D.C. that are in this conspiracy against my life, too.
State capitol.
Three. Everybody thinks they're going to get some kind of big bust. I've done no crime.
Union Station.
If I had done a crime, you would have arrested me, put me in jail, because that's what criminals get. They go to jail. They don't get tortured by the police until the police can find some dirt on somebody. That's illegal. You're targeting me. These are the places I've been. October. This is Riverwalk. October 13th, 2024.
Hey, Lee Trent, I'm down here.
2024. I had to go back, and the cops proved they knew who I was when I went back, and they treated it like a joke. They're treating it like a joke. This is where I went downtown Oklahoma City, wearing that shirt. Here's Tulsa, Oklahoma. I went in front of the sheriff's station. The sheriff's proved they knew who I was.
I'm in Tulsa. I miss you.
The sheriff's station's right down the road.
This is a building called the.
It's behind.
I don't know what it really is.
Right back here somewhere.
But making sure kids don't do anything.
Anyway, look at the date, October. These are all in here's November, Wichita, Kansas. I went to Kiever Plains, and I wore that shirt walking around, reporting your crimes.
Hey, I'm now in
wants to tell the truth. So then I started going into Capitol buildings. Here's Austin, Texas. I already showed you that video. Austin, Texas. I went into their Capitol building, reporting the crimes.
Hey, I'm trying to get to Vietnam as soon as I can. I got people knowing the truth and stalking me, but they won't tell the truth. Everywhere I go, everybody's a liar. Nobody tells the truth. But I did let the FBI know what Oklahoma, Texas did to me, so they are an investigation. They just don't believe it until the FBI comes.
When I said that, I saw 2 highway patrols nod their heads and get in their cars right there on that day. Nobody's done nothing except lie. All you're doing is lie. Went down through Plano, Texas, November 26, 2024.
This is Plano, Texas. I used to live here.
So the problem is, your police officers like Greg Johnson are used to breaking the law and just resigning, and then nobody gets punished. You're going to go to jail for what you did to me. These are serious crimes. We're talking, rape, attempted murder. Those are very serious crimes. False imprisonment. You faked my daughter's death. Torture. These are very serious crimes. You can't just walk away. Anyway, this is the Christmas party with Little Rock. This is Baton Rouge. I've already showed you that video. This is the Alamo. I said this in front of the sheriff. He got so mad. He started stomping away. It was near the end of this.
It's just you can't make the police, as soon as I can. It's just you can't make the police tell the truth, even though the police know the truth. They're liars. You can't make them tell the truth.
As soon as I said that, he started stomping away. I thought that was pretty funny. He was right in front of me. I was standing right behind his back. In fact, he walked up to me so that he turned his back to me on purpose. So that's what I said. He was mad. Capitol Building, Topeka. These are the places I've been. These are the dates. You know they're real because I've already shown it to you. This is Houston, Texas. This is really good.
I reported again. Okay. Behind me, you see the Visual Arts Center.
This is for all the police,
over here,
not just
you see
Houston
a
police.
city hall, and you see another city hall. And I'm a little upset because I pressed the record button and it didn't record. So I've recorded again. But this is for the police of Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. I really did report you to the FBI. I really did. They're watching you willfully break the law in front of the entire world. The entire world's watching. I've been into 9 state capitals. The governors know. The governors are probably pretty upset. Lawmakers are probably pretty upset. You will not uphold the law. All you do is treat it like a joke. Now, if Harvey Burkhart, former Carter County Sheriff, has faked his death and he's still alive, Brett Finnerty must be telling the truth. If Janette Ramsey, my daughter, has faked her death and she's still alive, Brett Finnerty must be telling the truth. If Dale Earnhardt Sr. has faked his death and he's still alive, Brett Finnerty must be telling the truth. If Eddie Van Halen has faked his death and he's still alive, Brett Finnerty must be telling the truth. And I'm expecting you guys to go to jail for the deprivation of rights, using the color of the law to deprive a person of his rights, conspiracy against my rights, torture, which is the 8th Amendment, and failure to intervene. You get a year for that, but it's just a year like that cop in Austin, Texas. It's just a B misdemeanor. It's only 18 months. It's just a B misdemeanor. It's not too bad. Well, I shouldn't have had that anyway because they knew what they did to me. They did it on purpose to cover up their own crimes.
Okay, so that's March, and now it's April. And where I just come from, I really did. A lot of people are watching.
Hey, I'm getting ready to leave Washington, D.C.
Look what's behind me.
Report the crimes again. Somebody's going to have to get arrested, so I want to try to get back to you. But this is the Supreme Court behind me. You can see it back here. There it is. Right there behind me, way back there behind that. We're walking the Supreme Court back over there. The United States Capitol's right behind it, right over there. So but they're paying attention because I saw a whole bunch of FBI agents walk out this morning to let me know that, the FBI is involved in this. And there's a lot of people being investigated. And they've got to do something.
So I really did report you. These are the places I went into. You've seen these if you paid attention. This is a special note. I did, wear this shirt in front of students visiting Washington, D.C. on spring break in front of their senators, their congressmen, the House of Representatives, the President of the United States, the citizens of Washington, D.C., the FBI, the Secret Service, the lawmakers, the Supreme Court judges, and the police officers that were guarding the buildings around the United States Capitol. They look kind of upset. There's a shirt that's going to give me my freedom, and it's also a shirt that's going to get me and you put in jail. You're not allowed to deprive somebody of their life, liberty, property without the due process of the law. If you've done something illegal, then you go to jail. If you're a cop, just because you got a badge doesn't mean you can do whatever you want to do without, any regard to anybody's life, liberty, or property. You're not allowed to just go around, doing whatever you want to do. You have to follow the law just like we have to follow the law, or you go to jail. Now, I can't arrest you, but the FBI is going to arrest you because they look like a bunch of idiots right now for what you guys conspired to do to me, the lies you made and the things you did. You broke the law. So they look like a bunch of idiots, just like you look like a bunch of idiots. Have a good day, murderers.